Hey, yo, this is your boy Post. You're now tuned in to Hood Action News Live. So, got a couple stories today. As you can see, the lead story is going to be the singer, which is D4VD. So, the singer D4VD, I never heard of this guy before now. So, a body was found inside a Tesla that was registered to him, right? Now, this is in an impound lot. So they found the body inside a Tesla that was actually registered for him. Now I'm gonna go straight into it. Now it was registered to him. Now, if you're joining in, like, share, subscribe. Let's get right into it. So I never heard of this singer before. Now, all of this news is alleged. So we don't absolutely know if this guy is the murderer yet. We're just trying to find out what's going on. So, body found in Tesla, registered to D4VD, the singer.
Breaking news details after a body was found inside a car at a Hollywood tow lot today. There's no immediate information about the identity of the person found inside, but Eyewitness News has learned the 2023 Tesla is registered in Hempstead, Texas to multi-platinum artist and musician David Anthony Burke, known professionally as David. This is video of David performing on Jimmy Kimmel Live in 2023. The grim discovery was made after nearby residents complained about a foul odor. Police say the impounded car had been at that lot property on North Mansfield Avenue for a couple of days now. They say the body had been placed inside a bag. We've reached out to David's representatives and are still waiting for a response.
So
we begin with that breaking news details after.
So this is the beginning stages of this case. So this is the singer right here. Never heard of him. Never heard his music. Now, this is the beginning stages of this case, so we'll definitely keep an eye on it. Hopefully that this brother doesn't have anything to do with it, but we don't know. We don't know. We will find out. You know what I mean? So we'll find out, is he innocent or is he a cold-blooded axe murderer? So we'll find out 100%. We shall find out, right? Now, today so I'm gonna actually tell you something. Today, actually yesterday, I did a story. I made a comparison, right? If you go on, listen, let me see if I can put it on the screen. So I made an actual comparison to the murder that just happened the other day. And you can go on my TikTok, it's right on the bottom of the screen. It's Post the Mogul. The response that I got is super duper nasty. You know what I mean? So the response that I actually got, super duper nasty, right? I did a comparison, right, of two different killers, right? It's all bad. So if you come to my channel and I show you that one guy did this and the other guy did this, it's all bad. It doesn't matter if they're black or white, it's all bad. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who did anything, it's all bad. So in this channel right here, it don't matter if you're black, white, whoever the axe murderer is, right? Now, a lot of you out there, now if you go on my TikTok channel, you can actually see that a lot of y'all out there, if the black dude does it, y'all trying to defend the black dude. If the white dude does it, you're trying to defend the white dude. An axe murderer or a killer is a killer. So a lot of y'all are trying to, whatever race you are, you're trying to defend the actual guy that did the killing, which is crazy. You know what I mean? Super crazy to me. Why would you want to defend any killer? like at all. You know what I mean? You cannot minimize what a killer does. Like you cannot minimize what a killer does. And I just want to say that. Now, being that said, manhunt for alleged guy or man who set a Queens, New York couple's home on fire. So, who set this couple's home on fire? Let's see. Let's find out. So, some pyro set this home on fire. So, let's
Gruesome and tragic double murder that happened in Queens. Police now believe the man in this surveillance video spent 5 hours in the Belrose home of an older couple, then set it on fire knowing that they were inside. Their neighbors called their son an FDNY paramedic, and he is the one who discovered his parents dead. It's tragic. The killer is still on the run. Here is Eyewitness News reporter Jayesh Patel.
Good afternoon. A house fire turned into a double homicide investigation when the bodies of a man and woman were found inside of this home. The details we're learning are gruesome. This morning, the NYPD says they're looking for the suspect they say intentionally set the home on fire.
damn.
The NYPD is looking for this man who they say set a home on fire in broad daylight, killing a 77-year-old man and a 78-year-old woman. He was last seen wearing jeans and a black jacket, baseball hat, and shoes holding a duffel bag.
Damn.
Detectives believe he spent 5 hours in the victim's home, likely searching for something to steal before setting it on fire. One woman says her father saw the suspect walking around the neighborhood within the past weeks.
Very chilling. It's scary. Some random guy walking down the street setting fire to older people. Anybody for that matter.
Yeah, that's scary.
Neighbors have been reporting the suspect was knocking on doors asking for a phone charger. Detectives say they have
Red
surveillance
flag
video
right
that shows
there.
the suspect knocking on the back door of this home on 254th Street and 87th Drive. The 77-year-old victim apparently opened the door and let the suspect in yesterday morning. That same surveillance video shows the suspect leaving the home around 3 p.m. shortly before the house went up in flames. Neighbors called the victim's son an FDNY paramedic who was off duty at the time. This morning, neighbors have left candles and flowers in front of the burned home.
The nicest neighbors you could ever ask for. My daughter just brought up, remember when they came out, when the essential workers at 7 o'clock, during COVID, they were out with us, and it was, he would always wave to us. Just this past weekend, he waved to us, and it's sad.
Police say the 77-year-old man was tied up in the basement with trauma to his body. His 78-year-old housebound wife was located on the first floor of the home. Both appear to have been set on fire. Some neighbors in the area say the man and woman lived in the home for at least 40 years. Some are in disbelief that something so sinister happened so close to their own home.
We saw the helicopters and everything, and we reached out immediately.
Listen, I think they found my man. So let's see if they actually found the guy or not. So give me a couple seconds. Let me see if they found, because I think they found this dude. So we can see what this guy looks like.
Take a good look at this, please. New video.
Yeah, I think they found my man. Let's see if they found him. Now, I'm gonna say this, man. If you're older, get your license to carry. But I think New York is definitely a little bit harder to get a gun in New York. But get your license to carry. It's a lot of crazy people out here. Now, what scared me that like the last couple of weeks, a lot of people have been doing stuff to older people. That's weird, really scary. You know what I mean? So that's super duper scary. You got everybody has grandma, grandpa. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have my license to carry. I always ask my grandma and my mom, like, listen, do you want to go get the blicky? But they won't do it. They won't do it. I'm trying to see if they had this guy in custody yet. So I'll do a follow up tomorrow. See if they got this guy in custody. I don't think they got that guy in custody yet. They may or they may not. But yeah, if you have like older people in your family or you just know any older people, like keep an eye on them. Now, that was an older couple in Queens, New York. Now let's look at this. Now this is in Chicago. 76-year-old man attacked in Washington Heights bus stop. So this is in Chicago now. So that's crazy. And then maybe a couple weeks ago, another lady was shot in New York. You can see the walker at the crime scene. So this is crazy. But listen, when I get old, I'm gonna have the blicky on me. I'm sorry. Superblicky.com. You know what I mean? But see, I'm in Philly. We could carry a gun here. No problem. You know, you get your license to carry, and pretty much the cops don't really mess with you because if you have a license to carry, they know that you don't have a record. They want people. Listen, in Philly, they want people with records. They're looking for you. If you got a record, they're profiling for you. If you don't got a record, once they run your driver's license, like now, once they run your driver's license or something like this, they like, nah, he could be a cop next week. He don't got no record. But if you got a record, they looking for you, Jack.
This attack happened on the South Side. It was captured on surveillance video. And we are learning that a woman and two kids were carjacked minutes later on that very same block. Our Sade Gray has the latest in that investigation.
A brutal, deadly beating happened at this CTA bus shelter Monday night. Surveillance video shows the horrific incident.
One battery victim that was attacked, not moving.
Police are looking for the person responsible for beating a 76-year-old man to death. Surveillance video shows the incident. You see the victim and the suspect inside the bus stop. One man stands up and punches the other in the face. That man then retaliates and beats the victim to the ground. We've paused the video, but it clearly shows the man who retaliated then repeatedly stomping on the other man's head. The attack happened around 9:15 Monday night in the Chicago Transit Authority bus shelter on Halsted at 95th Street in the Washington Heights neighborhood. The victim was taken to the hospital, where he died. At the scene, shattered glass was spotted on the ground, along with what appeared to be a baseball hat. After the attack, the man behind the beating could be seen walking out of camera view.
Hey, squad, we have a bona fide carjacking.
But just minutes later, a woman and two kids were carjacked. A 60-year-old woman, a 3-year-old girl, and a 14-year-old boy were sitting in a green Kia when a man got in the car, implied he had a gun, and then told them to get out.
So apparently the victim from this motor vehicle theft, there's a tablet in the vehicle, and they're tracking it passively.
Detectives are investigating whether the beating, death, and carjacking are connected. Police say no one has been arrested for either incidents.
What?
Reporting in Washington Heights, Sade Gray, CBS News, Chicago.
Thanks, Sade. And police also say no one was hurt in that carjacking.
Yo, Chicago, they really must have a shortage of police. Yo, Chicago has to have a police shortage because when something like that happens in Philly, they round up people quick. Because Philly it's a perfect grid. We got helicopters, everything. They find you quick here. So I don't know what's going on in Chicago, but I think they're, defund the police. You ain't got no police officers. So you can't defund the police. Because then you got a bunch of axe murderers walking around. You know what I'm saying? You got Freddie, Jason, and Michael Myers walking down the street, looking at each other all night. You know what I mean? In Chicago. So can't defund the police, Jack. Definitely not in Chicago. But this is my thing. In Chicago, this is my thing. Chicago, y'all need somebody out there, right? You don't want the National Guard to come in there, right? You don't want them to come in, but you need somebody. You know what I'm saying? You need Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, somebody to go in Chicago, Jack. You know what I mean? You definitely need G.I. Joe to come in there, bitch. Like, really. Y'all need somebody in Chicago, man. And I'm in Philly. You, like I said, send in anybody. You know what I mean? So you definitely you can't say that you don't need some extra help is what I'm trying to say. No matter who it comes from. But yeah, it's been a trend. So it's been a trend like the last 2 weeks. Like what people just doing stuff to older people. You know what I mean? And you can't do it. You can't just be like, you don't need extra help. Now, this right here, it says teen arrested for making school shooting threats. So I believe this teen is 13 years old. We're going to find out. So they found a teen with a bunch of guns. What else is new? So they found a teen with a bunch of guns. So I don't think that they're going to show this teen's face because they're underage. But let's find out what happened here.
Authorities arrested a 13-year-old boy who they say was infatuated with mass shootings and had access to guns and ammunition. Fox 13's Shira Matsuzawa tells us what investigators found inside his home and why the Pierce County Sheriff's Office calls it disturbing.
Gun after gun after gun. These are just some of the weapons the public information officer with the Pierce County Sheriff's Office, Carly Capetto, says were found inside of the home of the 13-year-old arrested over the...
Yo, how in the hell? Look at all these guns. Bro. Like, bro. A 13-year-old had all of these guns. Like, bro, I got guns. You only could shoot. Look, you only could shoot one of them at a time, right? So I'm talking about a law-abiding citizen, right? Listen, let's just stop for a second. So a law-abiding citizen, right? Look at the guns on my screen. You can only shoot one gun at a time if you're a law-abiding citizen, especially big-ass guns, right? What does this teen like? Listen, now they said he had an appetite. I'm assuming it's he, but they said the kid had a appetite for mass shootings or whatever. But what are you gonna do with that many guns, bro? Any law-abiding citizen, you can have a gun collection, but you only could shoot one gun at a time. So it's just like you gotta be sick as a 13-year-old to have this many guns. And how the hell does a 13-year-old get this many guns? Now, I'm gonna tell you what's odd about this, right? Now, they're not going to release this on the news, but I can kind of decode that this wasn't a poor kid. Let's just say that. This wasn't a poor kid because, yo, a cold-blooded street dude, hood killer does not have the money to buy this many guns at 13 years old. So I repeat that again. This kid came from a privileged place because even listen, hood dudes don't listen. 13-year-old dudes in the hood don't got money to buy this many guns by themselves, is what I'm trying to say. So it's really something I want to dig into this case, but how can a 13-year-old get this many guns? So this tells me who the killer is, basically. So if you want to play guess who the killer is and where did the killer come from, look at how many guns this 13-year-old had access to. Listen, yo, listen. When you go and I'm gonna talk for the black community because I'm black, where I'm in Philly. These little dudes, right? When they be doing all this street stuff and stuff like that, they actually share illegal guns. This one kid had all of these guns. So, like I said, these little dudes robbing people and running up on people, they may buy like one Draco and like 3 people are sharing one Draco. You know what I mean? And that's really how that works. And y'all know what I'm talking about. So this right here, you had to be like the son of Richie Rich to even buy all. They had money to buy all these guns.
Gun. These are just some of the weapons the public information officer with the Pierce County Sheriff's Office, Carly Capetto, says were found inside of the home of the 13-year-old arrested over the weekend.
Several firearms were just around the home, hanging on the walls. It was very clear there was some negligence in terms of gun ownership.
She says approximately 30 to 40 guns were seized, along with boxes and boxes of ammunition. But that's not all.
Tons of evidence that was found from the bedroom in terms of inscriptions and writings and things that would indicate he had targets and obsession with previous mass shooters that we've had in our history.
Authorities took the boy into custody early Saturday morning after receiving information about disturbing posts made on social media.
There was evidence that showed this subject was infatuated with mass shootings, had access to firearms.
As of Monday afternoon, the boy was here at Pierce County Juvenile Detention Center, facing several charges, including attempted threat to bomb or injure property, unlawful possession of a firearm in the second degree, and unlawful possession of fireworks. Capetto told Fox 13 it doesn't appear there was a specific school or event targeted, but says they're still going through evidence, and that includes electronic devices, so that could change. She adds the boy was not enrolled in any school district. His last known school district was Franklin Pierce. We reached out, and they confirmed the 13-year-old last attended one of their schools prior to 2021.
We have not had an individual in our jurisdiction act out in a mass shooting way. And I would say it's partly because we take all these threats very seriously and we don't allow them to get to that point. And it's
the cops, oh my God. This lady Philly cop just did something like this. How do y'all take credit that is not like, come on now. Is it you? It's all y'all, huh?
It's partly because we take all these threats very seriously and we don't allow them to get to that point. And it's very clear that
I would not say nothing like that. I wouldn't want to jinx myself.
That we disrupted something.
Shira Matsuzawa, Fox 13 News.
But they did it. Listen, they did a good job there. You see all these guns? This is a lot of guns. Listen, I just told you. These little street dudes that are robbing y'all do not have this many guns. They got maybe 1 or 2 guns, and they're sharing all of those guns. This dude damn near had the gun shop. So that 13, them parents, he had a Richie Rich allowance too. So this kid had an allowance. I don't even think you could buy this many illegal guns from the same person. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen. Let me tell y'all something. I don't even think if you buy illegal guns off the street that the person selling illegal guns is going to sell you this many guns. Because they're going to be like, yo, what are you trying to do? You know what I'm saying? You go buy a couple guns or somebody selling illegal guns and they're going to be like, yo, why do you need this many guns? I'm already going to go to jail, but damn, yo. Like you try to, you know what I mean? Mass killer red flags. You know what I mean? So I don't even think the same person could sell this person all these guns. You know what I mean? So that's wild. That's like, yeah, get his ass off the streets. 13 years old. Where do you go after you lock him up? Let me ask you this. At 13 years old, where do you go from there? So after you lock my man up, where do we go next? What's the next step? So when you lock up a mass killer, when you stop them from doing a mass killing, I mean, do they stay in a mental institution for the rest of their life? What's the next step of that? Now, if you subscribe to my channel, you already know that it's a bunch of axe murderers over here. There's a bunch of axe murderers that I'm going to talk about. So let's find out what happened here. Yeah, when you come over here, it's some crazy stuff. So look, cement slab leads to discovery of human remains. God damn, yo. It's like when you go from one transition to the next, it's crazy. Like you read these back to back. So remains found under cement identified. Now this looks like it's Arizona. So this looks like Arizona. So let's see what's going on here.
Forensic genetic genealogy to identify the victim as Chet Williams. Now, authorities say that he was shot to death before being buried under the concrete. His body was found by the new homeowner in 2021. And that's when a woman came forward saying that she used to.
Yo, that's crazy. You buy a new home and it's just a body in there. Yo, how do you explain that to the cops?
Concrete slab at a home in Dolan Springs has finally been identified. The Mojave County Sheriff's Office used forensic genetic genealogy to identify the victim as Chet Williams. Now, authorities say that he was shot to death before being buried under the concrete. His body was found by the new homeowner in 2021. And that's when a woman came forward saying that she used to live on the property with her parents. She said that she remembered Williams living with them before he went missing in 1999. She said her parents also poured that concrete around the same time.
Damn.
Those former property owners, though, have both since passed away. Right now, a body recovery operation happening at Camelback Mountain. The fire department says that they were dispatched around 2 p.m. to a rescue call before learning that the person had died. Police are now on that scene along with a drone and Phoenix Park Rangers, and they're trying to recover the body. We do not know if it's a man or a woman or how exactly they died. Our crew is on the scene, though, waiting for an update from Phoenix Police, and when we get that update, we will bring it to you. An investigation is underway in Phoenix where an armed robbery suspect is shot and wounded by police.
Damn, well, they running shit back to back. Because I was like, yo, what does this have to do with the last thing? So they just running stuff back to back. But this is the main case of that body found under cement identified. So basically, they found this guy's body in a home. They don't have any murder suspects. That's wild. Imagine you buy a house and it's just a body in the wall or something like this. That's just wild. Even thinking about that. So let's see what happened here. Yeah, Arizona's kind of running wild out there. So let's see. This is something else that happened in Arizona. Now, it says new details on Arizona homeless man who was accused of murder. So let's find out. So this is an Arizona homeless man accused of murder.
To Matthew Derringer, accused of murdering a man that he met at a church homeless event.
Police say the victim was letting Derringer live with him for several months before he was killed. Fox 10's Ashley Rodriguez.
Damn, not the church. A church. I'm trying to process that. A church homeless event.
They're accused of murdering a man that he met at a church homeless event.
Police say the victim was letting Derringer live with him for several months before he was killed. Fox 10's Ashley Rodriguez is live outside the South Scottsdale home tonight with the latest on this. Ashley.
So today, police released new details about the crime scene, and the only way I can describe it is a bloodbath. What officers found inside Frank Quaranta's home was just absolute carnage. It will make you sick. And I was able to speak to a neighbor who's also a psychologist who said you could just look into Matthew Derringer's eyes and know something was wrong. And we all need to be careful about these psychopaths who are disguising themselves in charisma. Henry Freeman lives 4 doors down from where Scottsdale police say 67-year-old Frank Quaranta was bludgeoned to death by 35-year-old Matthew Derringer.
You can see he's off psychologically. His eyes are just look at him.
Actually, I don't know if I should thank you or not.
Police say Derringer was mentally disturbed and homeless.
That motherfucker was crazy.
Also a psychologist who said you could just look into Matthew Derringer's eyes and know something was wrong. And we all need to be careful about these psychopaths who are disguising themselves in charisma. Henry Freeman lives 4 doors down from where Scottsdale police say 67-year-old Frank Quaranta was bludgeoned to death by 35-year-old Matthew Derringer.
You can see he's off psychologically. His eyes are just look at him.
Actually, I don't know if I should thank you or not.
Police say Derringer was mentally disturbed and homeless, that he had been living with Quaranta for 3 months, and Quaranta must have known something was wrong. A coworker told authorities he was asking for help to get Derringer out, most likely unaware of the slew of prior arrests and convictions, including killing a roommate's dogs.
The guy dismembered dogs in Colorado.
Damn.
So I don't know what the judge was thinking about letting the guy out.
When police
so you mean to tell me, right? Now, I've been seeing people arguing all day on Twitter about the dude that killed the lady in the train, right? So it's a trend. It don't matter if they're black or white. It's a trend of letting people that are mentally disturbed get out of jail. So I'll repeat that again. There is a trend in the United States of letting crazy ass people get out of jail. Let's just be blunt here. Crazy ass people.
Police walked into Quaranta's home on September 1st. They found blood on the front door, blood on the staircase, blood on the walls.
Damn.
They found more in the bathroom and even in the bathtub with cleaning solution nearby. Derringer allegedly left behind bloody footprints, bloody socks, and a bloody shirt. Meanwhile, Quaranta's body
sloppy ass murderer. My man is a sloppy killer.
Blood on the staircase, blood on the walls. They found more in the bathroom and even in the bathtub with cleaning solution nearby. Derringer allegedly left behind bloody footprints, bloody socks, and a bloody shirt. Meanwhile, Quaranta's body was lifeless, lying at the top of the stairs next to a metal sculpture covered in blood. His skull was exposed and fractured, his jaw broken, his ribs smashed.
Damn.
It wasn't until 7 days later police finally had Derringer in custody.
God bless you and have God in your soul.
The guy was homeless. Frank apparently.
Yo, that motherfucker crazy. He talking about God bless you on your soul. That motherfucker, he crazy. The dude yesterday that I talked about yesterday that killed the lady on the train. He was I'm gonna say he was Jason. This dude right here is Freddy. This is Freddy. When they start talking and shit and then be doing killing, this dude is a Freddy Krueger killer.
Find bloody footprints, bloody socks, and a bloody shirt. Meanwhile, Quaranta's body was lifeless, lying at the top of the stairs next to a metal sculpture covered in blood. His skull was exposed and fractured, his jaw broken, his ribs smashed. It wasn't until 7 days later police finally had Derringer in custody.
God bless you and have God in your soul.
The guy was
Freddy's
homeless.
Back. That motherfucker is Freddy. Freddy's back. Listen, this dude right here, listen, Did when these when these axe murderers start talking like that, God have mercy on your soul. That's a Freddy Krueger killer. Freddy's back. When they start talking like that, God have mercy on your soul. Like, dude is a Freddy Krueger killer, bro. He talking about, listen, this is tripping me out, yo. How are you just a whole, listen, my man was so much out of his mind. The body is over there, there's blood everywhere, and the cleaning solution is chilling. He was just like, I'm not going to clean it up. Forget about it. Yo, dude is out of his mind, yo. Yo, he is a Freddy Krueger killer 100. He want to talk in court. He want to sit and talk. Look.
He was lifeless, lying at the top of the stairs next to a metal sculpture covered in blood. His skull was exposed and fractured, his jaw broken, his ribs smashed. It wasn't until 7 days later police finally had Derringer in custody.
God bless you and have God in your soul.
The guy was homeless.
Oh God, yo.
Frank apparently knew that, or he wouldn't have let him in the house. Now, this isn't a homeless shelter.
And this new paperwork that came out today indicates that Derringer didn't even try to cover up the slaughter. Police were able to track him through his cell phone, and when they found his backpack, it was still covered in blood. And this guy has multiple prior arrests, 8 prior convictions, 3 of which are felonies. He is now being charged with first-degree murder and in jail on a $2 million bond. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Freddy's back. Freddy's back. Freddy's back. Freddy's back. Yo. My man he was just like, my man, he just was like, heads, just leave them there. Heads on the ground. This dude is crazy, yo. He want to talk to you. God bless you. Have mercy on your soul. Yo, that shit is what. Yo, y'all don't understand how crazy that is, yo.
New details in the arrest of Matthew Derringer, accused of murdering a man that he met at a church homeless event.
Yo, he met the dude at church. This motherfucker crazy, bro. And he want to talk. Yo, my man, so listen. My man killed dogs.
Dismembered dogs in Colorado.
Yo, he chopped the dog's head. The poor dogs, not the dogs, bro. He chopped the dog's heads off first, right? That's his warm-up, right? So he warmed up with the dogs, right? And then later he was like, I need human bodies. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I'm talking about these cases, when you come to my channel, everybody's dying in these videos, right? So give condolences to the person that died. I'm just talking about these crazy motherfuckers that are doing this are crazy. You know what I mean? I mean, this dude was just like, he warmed up with the dogs, right? This seemed to be his warm-up. And then he's talking about God have mercy on you. Like, what this crazy fool say?
Nearby, Derringer allegedly
this shit tripping me out.
Top of the stairs next to a metal sculpture covered in blood. His skull was exposed and fractured, his jaw broken, his ribs smashed. It wasn't until 7 days later police finally had Derringer in custody.
God bless you and have God in your soul.
The guy was homeless. Frank apparently knew that, or he wouldn't have let him in.
That motherfucker crazy, yo. Look at him, champ. This dude is the Freddy Krueger. God have mercy on your soul. And then just take you out. And you just let him in your home. Come on in. Ex-murder us. God. Oh, my God. Now, what's wild is that this dude is using church as people's weakness. You know what I'm saying? And then he comes in your home and then axe murders you, yo. Now listen, let's take a break from these axe murderers real quick. I want to go down this rabbit hole right here. I want to go down the rabbit hole because what I took a look at this video earlier and I'm still out of my mind. Now, they have released new UFO or UAP video. Yo, I'm telling you right now, if you like UFOs or you're really interested in what's going on, this is going to trip you out. I'm gonna be honest with you. You're going to be tripping when you just like I'm tripping right now. I can't hit the button fast enough to show you this. Right? This, shout out to them, ET, whoever put this video out, right? This is wild. Like, I'm gonna show you this. That's all I gotta say is this is wild. So let me start this.
Was taken October 30th of 2024. This video is of an MQ-9 drone tracking an orb or this object off the coast of Yemen. You'll see that another MQ-9 launched a Hellfire missile. That you cannot see that drone, and so I'm not going to explain it to you. You'll see exactly what it does.
Yo, look at this. Look at this. Watch this, y'all. Just wait for it. Yo, the missile didn't even do anything, bro. So I'm gonna show you what you're looking at. Now I'm gonna run that back, right? The UFO is flying, right? They shot a missile at the UFO. It just knocked it around a little bit, and then the shit kept flying, yo. So a missile hit it directly, and then the shit just went like the shit was just like, oh, we got hit by something, and then just kept flying, bro. This shit right here is spooky. This is some spooky shit, yo. Now the missile's going to come in at the top of the screen. Look.
This is when it zoomed out, so you can still see it traveling. So, Mr. Knapp, do you have you heard about events like this occurring?
So I'm gonna show it to you one more time, because when I seen it the first time, I had to keep watching. I'm gonna show it to you one more time. Now they're going to attempt to explain what the hell this is. Didn't even hurt it, bro. Look, it just kept flying. Whatever it is, it's in a force field. It's an aircraft inside a force field.
This is when it zoomed out, so you can still see it traveling.
Still flying, yo.
So, Mr. Knapp, do you have you heard about events like this occurring?
What is that?
And what information might you have?
I have heard about events like this. I have heard about this event. Jeremy Corbell and I talked about it in one of our episodes a while back. We did not have the video, though. There are servers where there's a whole bank of these kind of videos that Congress has not been allowed to see, that the public hasn't been allowed to see. Occasionally, some of that stuff gets out in the wild and it comes our way. It should be going to you. The public should be seeing this stuff. And why you're not allowed to, I don't know. But that's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah. What the hell is that? What
So
what
again,
was like that?
again, I'm not going to speculate what it is, but the question is, what why are we being blocked from this information consistently? I want to ask this just question: how in the world? This is the document. I want to enter this in for the record if it hasn't already been entered, Madam Chair. The document
So
that you
ordered.
provided on
They
thread
out
3.
they fucking mind. They
This is
like,
a
what
huge
the
file.
hell is this?
How in the world did you smuggle this out
They
of
out of
Russia?
their mind, yo.
Carefully.
In your socks?
And I don't think I want to be really specific about it because I might have to go back there and get some more sometime. Although,
Okay.
no, that'd be crazy to do that. Well, I took the top pages off that were stamped with the security signature, and I carried them out on my person. But the rest of them, I just threw in my suitcase and threw some caviar in there as a distraction as well, and hoped for the best. Otherwise, I'd be a citizen of Siberia right now.
And you had you reported James Lakatsky came to you with government possession of NHI craft and how they ultimately gained entry. Can you testify to the veracity of that claim?
Dr. Lakatsky is an honorable man who served most of his career with the DIA, a very trusted, high-level rocket scientist and intelligence analyst who inspired the OSAP program, as I said earlier. And in full disclosure, I've co-written 2 books with him. He dropped this on myself and our other co-author out of the blue. And it took 14 months for us to get DOPSR approval for him to release 2 sentences on that. He said this craft, we had managed to get inside of it. It had no wings, no rotor, no tail. It had no fuel tanks. They didn't know how it flew or how it was operated. It clearly looked like it was aerodynamic, but he would not go further. He's a by-the-book guy, and until he gets clearance to say more about that, I don't think we're going to hear much more. But it's not ours. It wasn't ours. We didn't make it. We didn't know who made it and how it was built and how it operated. We've got at least one. And I don't know. I think that's enough confirmation that we do have recovered discs and materials.
Lastly, Mr. Borland, in the classified realm, have you been exposed to undeniable confirmation of NHI technology? And then my second question is Base Systems involved in any way with reverse engineering exploitation of non-human intelligence craft?
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a conversation this Skip for that. Whether I'm legally even allowed to answer that, and whether you're even allowed to hear it, sir.
Okay. Again, you can sense our frustration, and so I just want to thank you for coming forward. We will continue to fight because look, this is about making sure that this government belongs to the people and restoring the republic the way it was intended to be. Madam Chair, I also have further witnesses of courageous individuals. It was given to me by Dr. Stephen Greer, including.
Now, I'm going to let it rock for a couple seconds. Now, I'm going to give you my quick take on this. So, this is just my personal take on this, right? Whatever we're seeing flying around, I really, truly believe that there's just a set of human beings that are older than us, and they had a set of technology that maybe be hundreds of thousands of years ahead of us, and that group of people just has hid within us. You know what I mean? Like, just think about it. If there's human beings that look like all of us, and that group just kept their technology to themselves, they could easily blend in with us. And that's my personal take.
Michael Herrera and his testimony. We have Roderick Castle and his testimony, Randy Anderson, his testimony, Stephen Digna, and others, 3 others, all saying similar things to what the witnesses today have said. And I would like to enter that into the record as well.
No objection.
You know, at this point, I think it's clear from the hearing that there's advanced technologies that are taking place in our airspace. You know, the question is, and I posed it in one of the previous hearings, is it ours, is it theirs, or is it otherworldly? There may not be a silver bullet at the moment, but when you look back through the hearing and the evidence that's been presented, if you're going to point the
Yo, let me tell you something. If China or Russia had that technology, the United States wouldn't be on the map.
American people to one piece of evidence to start their journey on this topic, what would you suggest, sir?
One piece of evidence. I would start with this hearing, in the first hearing. There is no evidence.
But is there a specific, exactly, but is there a specific evidence or footage or document that you think lends extreme credibility to what we're discussing today?
I would say this new video we're seeing today is exceptional evidence that we're dealing with something.
With the kinetic?
Yes.
Mr. Wiggins?
Sir, I'd have to say that if just the average person here in America looked at absolutely everything that has come across television, the internet, etc., you can't tell yourself that 100% of what's being recorded is fake or false. You have to, at some point, understand that there's something else out there.
Well, I mean, and you bring an interesting point. In the law enforcement community, anytime you're conducting an investigation, you're always looking at the totality of the circumstances. You're looking at all the evidence and how they piece together. And so that would be my, advice to the American people, that this is a journey that is just beginning from a congressional perspective, but you have decades of data, some of it not real, much of it is, but thanks to Chairwoman Luna, we're now presenting this to the American people. And I think this latest video from Mr. Burleson is something that should get everyone pause. When you see the three orbs that drop, was that in a defensive posture or was that in an offensive posture? And what capabilities did those orbs have that we, quite frankly, may not have? Mr. Knapp?
As I mentioned at the beginning of my remarks, what hooked me on the story was the paper trail, these documents that shouldn't exist. We've been told for decades, over and over, there's nothing to it. It's not a threat. You can go about your business. And then when FOIA becomes the law of the land, thousands of pages to the contrary leak out. There's a memo by General Nathan Twining in 1947 when the country was being overflown by dozens of UFOs, hundreds of UFOs, in which he said, look, this is not visionary or fictitious. It's real. These things are craft. They're not ours. They outperform anything we've got. I mean, if you follow the paper trail of documents that they wrote before the military got wise and realized that FOIA really exists and changed their tune and not put things in writing, it spells it out pretty clearly. I'll go refer back to Russia. One incident I did not mention to Representative Burleson is Colonel Sokolov in that Ministry of Defense program said there were 40 incidents where Russian warplanes were sent to intercept UFOs. And they were ordered to fire on them. And for the most part, the UFOs would zip away. 3 of the pilots, though, did fire at these things. Those 3 planes stalled out, crashed. 2 of those pilots died. And after that, the Russians changed the standing order. If you see a UFO, leave them alone. No country in the world wants to say and admit that these objects are flying around in our airspace and there's nothing we can do about it. I mean, who wants to say that? The U.S. certainly doesn't. The Russians didn't either.
And I've got to be almost out of time, but Mr. Berlin, then you, sir, real quickly.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think Bob Lazar, and not for the reasons that most would talk about, mainly because Bob Lazar was immediately discredited. They said he never worked where he worked. They said he never did what he did. But yet Bob Lazar showed up with a bunch of friends and a video camera and was filming these test flights in the middle of the desert. So clearly he knew something.
Facts. That's all I say is facts. Yo, I'm going to show you this one more time, man. We're going to, this is a crazy rabbit hole, right? Now, I look at stuff like this on my spare time all the time, right? I report on a lot of crime news, but this is crazy to me. I'm going to show the video one more time if you just tuned in. A new UFO or UAP evidence was found, and they shot a missile at it, and the missile bounced off like a basketball, man. You know what I mean? Like it just bounced off the wall like a tennis ball on the wall, man. So let's look at it one more time.
What it does.
What the hell is that, bro? And it's still flying after it got hit.
This is when it
missile.
zoomed out. So you can still see it traveling. So,
Yo, it's
Mr. Knapp,
missile just kept going.
do you have have you heard about
The hell is that, bro? That's
events like this occurring? And what information might you have?
I have.
Now I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. Even when you look at like sci-fi movies, like just say Star Wars, when those Star Wars planes get hit by missiles, they can't even take a missile. So that's crazy. Like just think about that. When you watch Star Wars, when something shoots those aircraft, they're done, right? Whatever this is, just blocked the missile and it kept going. You know what I mean? Now, I don't want to go down a super duper rabbit hole. Let me put this back on the screen real fast. Put this back on the screen. So listen, I don't want to go down a super duper rabbit hole, but I seen something on social media. You know how you have people that are really into UFOs, which I am too, but a guy was talking about, it's called conscious plasma. So conscious plasma. So you know what conscious is, like we're conscious beings. Plasma is just like fire and gas and stuff like that. So are we dealing with like, you ever see like Mario Brothers and the fire is actually living and something like that? Is it something like that? Yo, leave a comment below. What do you think this is? You know, leave a comment below. Is this like UFOs? Is this fake? We know it's not fake. With all of these government people involved in that hearing, we know it's not fake. But like, what can take a missile and keep going? You know what I mean? That's wild. That's really wild. But I want to know if you ever heard of conscious plasma, which is basically like living lightning, like lightning that's actually living. You know what I mean? Now, what I think it actually is I don't know if it's aliens. We can't say that, but I think it's either one or two things, right? So I'm gonna give you my one or two things. My two really is just two things, right? So when it comes to this new UFO / UAP found, me personally, what I think it is one of two things, right? It's either somebody has technology, some human beings have technology that have been along, they've been around longer than we have, or it's conscious plasma, which is basically like living, like lightning, but living, right? Now, they called that now I don't want to go in that science rabbit hole, but I believe they called that like the third type of matter. I believe it's like, you got physiological stuff like that. And I'm not a scientist, but look up conscious plasma, which is basically like it's basically like something else that has a conscious other than us. You know what I mean? It's like I said, living lightning, like a lightning bolt actually has a conscious, like it's made of stuff that a lightning bolt is made of, but it actually has a conscience, just like we do. Because think about how the hell do we have a conscience, right? Now I believe in God, right? Couldn't God take something else and put a conscience into it if he can make us? So that might be the answer to this. Now, the third thing you could say simply is probably an angel, right? Now, that's if you believe in Bible and that type of thing, right? It might be angels. Now, but what are angels? angels might be, conscious matter. You know what I mean? So it's really complicated what it could be, but it's an orb flying, right? It's bright as hell, right? It's confusing, man. What the hell are we looking at? Are we looking at? We know we're not looking at an airplane flying, but it got hit by a missile, bounced off, and then kept going. Now, let me say this: if it was actually an aircraft that could take a missile and keep going, they don't have nothing else to fire back. I just thought about that. Let me put this back on the screen. So this is why we do this, try to come up with stuff. If this was, let me see something. Let me click on it so you can see the little dot. See the little dot on the screen right there? Make sure you can see my screen. See the little dot on the screen right there, like right here. Right? It's a dot right here.
Mr. Knapp,
let me go back. So it's right here. So whatever this is, it took a missile. Pause. It took a missile, right? And it kept going, right? If I got the technology to, like, a missile can hit my aircraft, then I keep going. Why don't I have anything to shoot back? Is what's weird to me. You know what I mean? Like, if I got this technology, then I got some type of weaponry to shoot back. So that's what has me like, is this like conscious plasma? Is it like a living fire, lightning type of thing? You know what I mean? That's actually living, and not an aircraft. It's like a living ball of fire. You know what I mean? But if it's a living ball of fire, how the hell can it fly? So all I gotta say is pray to God, because we don't know what the hell this is. You know what I mean? Like, is it conscious plasma? Is it an aircraft? Is it angels? It might be all of the above. You know what I mean? So that's a real answer. It might be all of the above, my man. So I want to hear what do y'all think it is? That's my take on what I think it is, but man. Now listen, you tuned in to hoodactionnews.com. We start off with, the regular axe murderers and stuff going on. Make sure you be safe out there. Now, this is Terrible Tuesdays. I always say it's Terrible Tuesdays. But listen, I needed subscribers. Just started the channel not too long ago. We want to keep it going. I actually want to hear from you. I'm on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and all of those. Hit me up. Like, share, subscribe. It's Post fresh out of Philly. I'm Izzo.